three. Gorgeous. Look at this little angel. You want a shot?
Bold journalist.
But Drew Hernandez is a strong-minded individual.
Exposing lawlessness.
Hernandez, who is ideological.
Finding the truth.
And use the word ANTIFA.
This is what they do.
Battling
They're
mainstream
liars. The woke mob, all they can do is lie.
These are the front lines.
What's going on, thought criminals? Welcome to Frontlines. I am your host, Drew Hernandez. Antifa, the domestic terrorists, are back in the news. TPUSA had an event with Mega Hulk Stephen Davis at UC Davis that got shut down due to the violent threats. And also, a young woman, a young student, was attacked and maced by Antifa. And this is what I'm saying. It's crazy because they're always coming out and saying it's the right, it's mega Republicans, but they just turn a blind eye to the radical leftists. And also, the deep state is not letting up anytime soon. These elites, they hate you and your family, and they're never going to stop. And they'll just continue to rub it in your face every single chance that they get. Why? Because you're just a peon to them and they hate you. And we also got some Elon Musk Twitter updates as well. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. But before we get into it, I want to remind you, get your tickets to the greatest celebration of patriots in the country. America Fest is happening here in Phoenix, Arizona on December 17th through the 20th. There's an amazing lineup of speakers and concerts with more to be announced. You can use the QR code right now on your screen to get your tickets. You don't want to miss this. My name is Drew Hernandez, and you are now on the front lines. All righty. Well, here we are. The domestic terrorist Antifa, UC Davis cancels TPUSA event after a female student attacked by far-left psychos. I would fix that headline, but protesters. Whatever. On Tuesday evening, a female student named Madeline Lowe was maced and her phone damaged by protesters, violent extremists, and gathered outside a student-organized TPUSA event at the University of California, Davis, UC Davis. Protesters were heard yelling, "F all fascists," though, of course, right? It's always the same thing. According to Fox News, the event, which was set to feature TPUSA contributor and podcaster Stephen Davis, was canceled over student safety concerns. Take a look at this footage.
This is what happens, see, TPUSA events. We can't even come out here and support freedom of speech. This young girl was maced outside of a UC Davis event. Here at the MAGA Hulk event, the Stephen Davis.
They destroyed my property.
They broke her property just simply for being a conservative.
And they don't even know I'm a conservative.
They maced everybody here. They maced everybody here.
Sounds like Antifa to me. I wouldn't consider these people protesters because protesters don't attack and mace people because they disagree with them. That's what violent extremists do. Well, joining me now is Madeline Lowe, the girl in the footage, the young woman in the footage that was attacked by these people. Madeline, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're safe. I'm sorry you had a run-in with these psychopaths. Let me know what was going on when you were there. How did this all unfold that night?
So I arrived at the event at around 6:40, and then that led me to see about 75 to 100 protesters. And at this point, there were no counter protesters. And when I arrived, I walked through the crowd and I fit in, and I asked the security guards if I could be let into the event. And then they proceeded to tell me no, I couldn't, because they had closed down the event 20 minutes earlier due to safety concerns. And then I walked out back through the crowd. And when I walked to the other side of the street to discuss with some individuals and ask them what was happening, I walked back into the protesting crowd, and that's when a man asked me to identify myself. And then I didn't, and I just kept walking. And at that point,
Real quick, pause.
Yeah.
Who was asking you to identify yourself? What do you mean a man? Someone from Turning Point or a security guard or one of the protesters?
A protester. He was wearing all black and a black mask and a hood. And he maced me, and then I turned around, and then another person maced me, and then the same guy that did it the first time maced me again. And then at that point, a guy from my left runs up and grabs my phone, rips it out of my hand, and slams it on the ground and people come and run up and like smash it with their feet. And then that's when that video that you showed happens. And I run over to the other side of the street to find safety. And then I called the police, and they said that they wouldn't come until the protest was broken up.
What? So when you called the police because you were just attacked, you were just physically assaulted and pretty much threatened, they don't come because they're waiting for the protest to stop?
Yes, I believe it was because of an event that took place at UC Davis 10 years ago. But regardless, I think that they should have come to help break it up. And the UC Davis did send out a statement saying that there were police there, but we didn't see any, and they weren't making a difference in whether or not people were getting hurt. And so eventually someone came after about an hour later, I believe, to get my statement.
I'm pretty sure UC Davis probably has some Antifa allies within the administration, because this is how this works in Portland. That's why they get away with everything. They're able to riot and commit crimes because there are people on the inside that give them a pass. And Antifa is not just the people wearing all black. They have the same ideas. Let me ask you this. Has the school reached out to you? Have they asked you, hey, are you okay?
The school has not reached out to me. I haven't even been acknowledged really by the police either. They haven't reached out saying that they're working on finding the people who did it. They will press charges if they do find someone that was in the video that I took of people macing me. But other than that, I haven't been reached out from.
Absolutely unreal. Well, hey, I'm glad you're safe. I'm sure your parents are glad you're safe, and all of your loved ones are glad that you're safe. Please stay safe out there. I'll also say this. Do not let these people make you afraid. Never back down. Do not let these little weirdos, okay? I know it can get pretty aggressive when it's out there, but do not fall down to their violence, and also do not let them back you down. You continue pushing forward at TPUSA. Thank you for joining me, Madeline.
Thank you.
Awesome. Guys, well, listen, speaking of Antifa, it's just, I mean, they're violent and they're perverts, okay? Like literally, quite literally. I mean, this is open by now, and they target children. Here's a story from the Daily Caller. Ohio schools radicalism class includes lesson on homeless encampments from sex worker. An Ohio high school class dedicated to exposing students to radical viewpoints hosted a sex worker to discuss homeless encampments. A self-described fat activist and anarchist bimbo, Elizabeth Blackburn, on October 19th for a seniors-only elective course titled U.S. Political Thought and Radicalism. Blackburn, who operated a second public Twitter account on which she frequently shared pornographic photos and videos of herself and other sex workers. Blackburn made her porn account private after reports of her visit to the school began to circulate. Well, look at that. That's who's going to go, have a conversation with teenagers in high school. Someone that's, into pornography. That's a sex worker. That's an anarchist bimbo. Not only are they into domestic terrorism, they're into just being pornographic and, just, talking to your kids about, what life is meant to be. Does anyone feel comfortable with that? Like, be honest with me, honestly. Does anyone feel comfortable with an anarchist bimbo showing up to a high school having a conversation with a bunch of kids about life and radicalism? Oh, and politics and, oh, yes, just be political, little kid. Oh, I work in a sex encampment. I'm a sex worker. Oh, I come from a homeless encampment. It's just, your kids deserve better. I'll just put it at that, right? But this is what they think your kids deserve. This trash and garbage that is low-level, depraved, and disgusting. But, here's some good news, man. Here's a poll also from the Daily Caller. Majority of American voters, including many Democrats, oppose sex change surgeries for minors. A majority of American voters believe the transgender movement has gone too far. No, you think? And recommending that underage children transition to the opposite sex changes for little kids via drugs and surgery, according to a new poll released Tuesday. According to the poll, 65% of respondents believed that the transgender movement has gone too far to drug minors as well and to undergo sex change surgeries, while only 21% did not. Yeah, because a sane-minded American is sitting here watching this saying that it's totally evil and wrong and it's twisted and disgusting. And if you're going to sit there and advocate to mutilate the genitals of children, you have serious problems and issues, whether you're gay, straight, trans does not matter. But but this is how they're indoctrinating your children. I mean, if you're not convinced yet, here's a video that's been put up by libs of TikTok of a teacher discussing coming out as transgender to elementary students. Oh, yes, it's so great and liberal. Look, take a look.
So the question is about coming out to students, and as a teacher who has worked with elementary, middle, and high school aged students, I think I can help you out a little bit here. The first thing you should do is just keep your language simple, because this teacher specifically is working with elementary school kids. You want to use language that they're going to understand based off experiences they have. Just say something simple like this. Yeah. Here's what I said.
Just groom them.
I used to be a boy, but that made me hurt. It made me feel uncomfortable. So I went to a doctor. We talked. Now I take medicine and I'm a girl. Boom. There you go. That's all you really need to know. It's not a perfect explanation. If you're not on hormones or you don't want to take hormones, it's not the best, but it can be a really good starting point. If you're not on hormones, I would just say that your doctor and you decided to do things like this, and it's going to be what's good for you to make you happy. Kids understand that. Generally speaking, kids like making people happy, you know? Now, you may see some purpose in going more in depth later on, but starting with that foundation is good for people. That said, before you do any of this, the most important thing you should do is talk with your administrator.
Oh, hey, little girl. Hey, little boy. Hey, little boy, you think that you're actually a girl? Oh, really? Good. I like that. Me too. How about we chop your penis off to make it real? Oh, by the way, it's going to make you happy. Way happy. If you just chop your penis off, because that's love, isn't it, little girl? Little boy? Oh, it doesn't matter what the hell you identify as. Just come here. Let me take care of you. I'll take real good care of you. See, but it's like, isn't that disgusting? Like, you hear me talk like that, like, dude, you sound like a freak weirdo. Yeah, because that's who they are. That is how they deal with your children. And they want to hide that from you and not give parental consent because, oh, the parent might actually be a bigot. And if the parent doesn't agree with that, then that parent is putting that child's life at risk. Abuser! Child abuse! That's how it works. That's how they shut you down. To make matters worse, here's a video of a drag queen offering a 3-year-old a shot of alcohol. Oh, would you look at that? Wow, amazing.
First drag show? First drag show ever. Baby over here, look at this. Oh my goodness. What's your name, sweetheart? What's your name? How old are you? You're 3? Jeez. Gorgeous. Look at this little angel. You want a shot?
You want a shot. Okay, get the mentally ill freak off the screen. Oh, you want a shot, little kid? Oh, yeah, that's definitely not grooming. Hey, little kid. Oh, you want some alcohol? Oh, you'll like alcohol, little girl. Here's some alcohol. Oh, what's next? What's next, groomer? Oh, let me guess. Oh, you're gonna sit the little kid down and just have fun. You may shame on the parents, dude. Again, the parents are the problem here. The parents are the problem that are not even recognizing that their child is being groomed by some sick, depraved freak sitting there in front of everybody offering their child alcohol. These parents should be arrested. My goodness, speaking of people that should be arrested, this federal government is a joke. The federal government, it's a total clown show. We have President Biden suggesting that people of color cannot afford or don't know how to choose airplane seats with more legroom. President Joe Biden appeared to suggest that airlines charging an extra fee for premium seats with legroom was airlines engaging in racial discrimination. Take a look.
Decision. Some airlines, if you want 6 more inches between you and the seat in front, you pay more money. But you don't know it until you purchase your ticket. Look, folks, these are junk fees. They're unfair and they hit marginalized Americans the hardest, especially low-income folks and people of color. They benefit big corporations, not consumers.
So what is he saying? Again, it's always the same thing. Black people are too poor. They can't figure anything out. Everything is just too expensive for black people. Oh, 6 inches. Oh, no, for too much, not enough leg room. Oh, that's racist. Or is he just calling them all fat? There's just not enough room for them as well? Talk about being disconnected from reality, man. But just everything's racist and black people are too poor. It's always the same thing. These people hate you, man. They literally hate black people. They just hate everybody. It's clear right now. I mean, take a look at, unelected Governor Kathy Hochul. During her debate, she's asked about the vax mandates and her whole handling of the jab mandates and COVID. And her response is, I would do it again.
You've been an election denier, a climate change denier. You and Donald Trump were the masterful COVID deniers. We are dealing with a real crisis. And the more people get vaccinated, get those shots in arms, and I would do it all over again what I did last year, that mandate for healthcare workers.
Yeah, I would do it all over again. I would screw you and your family and your children, your entire livelihood. Screw every single one of you. I would do it again because I am an elite and I am the powerful and I am the overlord that knows better than you. And yes, peon, anytime I feel like I'm going to slap another mandate over you and your life, I would do it again. This isn't about democracy. This isn't about safety. This is about tyranny. These are real tyrants that believe they could shut down your life at any point, at any time. Why? Because they're the big and powerful. They're smarter than you, and they know better than you. No, those days are over. Like, seriously, are you still living in the mass formation cult right now? Are there seriously people? I mean, it's just, come on, dude. Move on. Move on. It's over. Take off the damn mask. We don't need the jab. It's over. But they still want to act like it should be a thing because they never want to stop, and it's all about the money. It's all about the money. These jabs are huge money makers, just like everything else for the far left and the globalist elite. Well, here's some actual real data. According to Breitbart, they posted this report. Pandemic protocols caused plummeting literacy, largest ever decline in math scores. New data shows pandemic-driven school closures caused plummeted reading scores and the largest decline in math scores in history. Specifically talking about children as well because of the lockdowns. Of course, they're going to dumb down the kids as much as they can. They're going to dumb them down however they can. Whether it's through just complete depravity and degeneracy through social media and the content that they're all absorbing, no matter what you see, no matter what you do across the entire board, even in the universities, they think they're getting higher learning. No, they're not. They're constantly, continually targeting the children. If they're not mutilating their genitals or murdering them in the womb, they're going to destroy their minds and make them illiterate. They want the next generation to be stupid in the head because that is how you control people. If they know nothing, they have no information, you're a sitting duck and you're ignorant. And that is what they want for the next generation, to be totally controllable. Protect your children from these people. Speaking about control, Twitter obviously is having a huge backlash right now. Elon Musk entered Twitter HQ with a literal sink. It's kind of like a walking meme. Let that sink in. Walked straight into Twitter HQ, walking in with a sink. And listen, it's glorious to see because we know that a lot of SJWs and a lot of pro-censorship individuals see Elon Musk as the devil. They see him as the censorer himself, right? And you love to see that backlash at the same time. And we're hopeful that Elon Musk actually holds to what he's been claiming when it comes to his views on free speech, which I hope he does. And I hope he actually does what he's been claiming he's going to do as a multi-billionaire. He actually put out this letter to Twitter advertisers today, and it started off by saying, I want to reach out personally to share my motivation in acquiring Twitter. There has been much speculation about why I bought Twitter and what I think about advertising. Most of it has been wrong. The reason I acquired Twitter is because it is important to the future of civilization to have a common digital town square where a wide range of beliefs can be debated in a healthy manner without resorting to violence. There is currently great danger that social media will splinter into far right-wing and far left-wing echo chambers that generate more hate and divide our society. He also made this comment in that same statement. He said, that said, Twitter obviously cannot become a free-for-all hellscape where anything can be said with no consequences. He's speaking directly to advertisers. What the hell does that mean? I have no idea. Does that mean that there will still be some kind of censorship on Twitter because now he's communicating directly to his advertisers and he's saying, hey, just remember, it can't be a free-for-all hellscape. No. There's going to be some kind. You can't just go without consequences saying whatever you want. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to hold my breath. I hope Elon Musk turns out to be what people think he's going to be. I hope Twitter ends up being a free speech platform, but comments like that are causing people to question how this is all going to go. Like I've said from the very beginning of when Elon came out and said he wanted to acquire Twitter, if you say that you are for free speech, we will hold you accountable to that very thing. We will see how this goes. Well, of course, the SJWs are freaking out and losing their minds. This is actually pretty interesting. They've created their own social media leftist alternative app to Twitter called Tribal. Yes, but they spelled it wrong. Tribal. We're an innovative Twitter, Facebook alternative that's a free of hate, fake news, and bots platform. Would you look at that? Free of hate. It's basically a safe space. I guess that's what they wanted Twitter to become, was some kind of gigantic safe space. Here are some of their posts that they've been promoting on their own Twitter. To all of the bigoted Trumpers, white supremacists, and homophobes who are livid that they are receiving lifetime bans from Tribal Social, hatred is not free speech. If you want to spew your hateful vitriol unchecked, stay on Twitter. We don't tolerate it on Tribal Social. We don't tolerate, right? But we're tolerant. Yes, our social network successfully fought off a wave of trolls that came over from the notoriously racist and homophobic Libs of TikTok account. Our algorithms identified their bigotry and suppressed their posts just as intended. RT, if you support our kinder Twitter alternative. We're so kind, we will censor the hell out of you if we disagree with you. Yes, free speech, democracy, we love it. No, it's just so ridiculous. Here's another one. To all of the Trumper supporters who are accusing us, let me say it like this. To all the Trump supporters who are accusing us of censoring them on our new social network, we don't censor any posts. Our algorithms simply filter out fake news, bigotry, and hostility. If you want to trend on our network, your post must be factual and free of bigotry. Dude, I mean, you could tell that's who wrote that, right? I mean, this has to be some kind of ex-Twitter employee. Here are what people are saying on Twitter that are joining the network. Here's one. Been at Tribal for 3 weeks. I'm liking it. A bunch of lefties hang out over there and they ban mega ass trolls left and right. I've seen more than a few get nuked. Yeah, we love censorship. We love just banning anyone that we disagree with. That's where we want to be. Come to Tribal Social, where we will just ban the hell out of anybody that we disagree with, because we're tolerant and loving. Tolerant and loving. Yes. Oh, we're just so, dude, it's a joke. It's literally a joke. Like I said, I hope that Elon Musk turns out to be the free speech advocate that he's claiming to be. We will hold him accountable, just like we should hold everyone accountable that comes out and attempts to represent the United States or freedom or patriotism. This is where we're at right now. And then I'll say this. This is part of what the new right has become. Those days of the lack of accountability are over. Right now, we are holding everyone accountable for what they say, what they do, and if they say one thing and they do a different thing, we will expose them, period. No more Mr. Nice Guys, no more Mrs. Nice Ladies. This is it. My name is Drew Hernandez. These are the front lines. I'll see you guys on the next one.
We must play offense. Game on.
You expect the rest of the world to live in La La Land. We're not.
We've been saying these things from day one.
Our solemn vow to you, be good, be brief, be gone.
You might find yourself changing your opinion on things you've never even thought twice about. That really sets America apart.
You are not ready for season 2. This is Reloaded.
My life, tale, and my truth has been to fight socialism.
Are you familiar with structural racism?
Yeah, it's a myth.